For me, the thing about giving George Pickens a long-term deal has always been you can move those numbers around as opposed to the franchise tag being set in stone. You can't fiddle with that money whatsoever. Have you ever gotten a sense from the Cowboys that they care about that in terms of we can move this money versus franchise tag can't be messed with?
Yeah, shout out to Todd Archer of ESPN. He asked Stephen Jones explicitly that question you have there, and he was like, so you're comfortable with if he is playing on the franchise tag, you're comfortable with that $28 million counting toward your cap in 26? And he said, yeah, we're comfortable. We'll be able to make the moves that we need to make to do so. And so, whether that's Stephen talk or if it's actual, feelings behind the scenes, who knows? But look, if you're asking me Nick Harris's opinion, I can understand why they would want to play him on the tag for a year and see out that possibility.
Tell me more about that, why that is.
They had the 1 year rental last year, and it was phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. But he did miss meetings. He did miss a curfew, and I'd say this as factual, not to bring up anything messy. And having another 1 year where you're hoping a maturity would take a step forward, so you know what you are paying him. Because let's say you pay him $32 million over the course of $32 million per year over the course of 4 years. Let's say they get a deal done next week, and that's what it is, right? And then 2 years from now, you look up and some of these issues quite haven't gotten better, and the production's starting to slip. Maybe Ryan Flanoy's taking a step forward, and then you're locked into that contract. Whereas if you franchise tagged him for another year, you get to see that through a little bit, and either the price point would come down, or you're only paying about $3-4 million per year difference. Now, I understand that's a lot of money you put in toward depth holes and things like that, but if you're asking me, I understand if they end up going that direction, just because they've only had him in the building for 1 year, it was a fantastic 1 year, don't get me wrong, and they have a high tolerance for, the things that he did miss, and it's not like he's a bad person. He's a great dude and a great teammate, and, they certainly lean on that, but you'd be foolish to think that those kinds of things will not be brought up in a negotiation.